Good morning, my dear friends. Today is Sunday, April 12th. As we begin our time together, I want to say how truly grateful I am that you have chosen to pause and share these quiet, sacred minutes with me. Right now, the world outside your window might still be entirely dark, or perhaps the very first early morning light of April is just beginning to filter softly through your curtains. And inside your home, it is likely very quiet. Your family is still asleep. The house is still resting. There is something profoundly sacred and incredibly grounding about this specific moment in the day. This quiet, untouched space before the rushing begins, before the footsteps echo down the hallway, before breakfast needs to be made, and long before the loud demands of the upcoming week start knocking at the door of your weary mind. Sunday mornings hold a unique kind of weight for so many of us. We often find ourselves suspended somewhere in the middle, caught between recovering from the deep, bone-level exhaustion of the past 6 days and mentally preparing for the Monday that is looming just ahead. So before you step fully into the heavy responsibilities of today, before you check your phone, read your messages, or start running through your endless, overwhelming to-do list, I want to invite you to do something very simple, but deeply necessary. Take one slow, deep breath with me right now. Let your shoulders completely drop. Let the profound quietness of this room wrap around you like a gentle, reassuring blanket. This day is not an accident. This moment of pure stillness is a fresh gift from the God who never sleeps and who never leaves your side. Often, as we sit in the absolute quiet of the early morning, our minds naturally begin to race. Even in the silence, we hear the loud echoes of our anxieties. We think about the week that just passed, the conversations we wish we could redo, and the tasks we left unfinished. But I want to remind you that in this specific moment, none of that requires your immediate attention. You are allowed to simply exist right here, in the quiet embrace of this April morning. The world can wait. Your obligations can wait. As you continue to breathe slowly, I want you to mentally detach from the expectations of the week ahead. April is a season of gentle renewal, a time when the earth reminds us that beautiful things can bloom after a long cold season. Let that same spirit of gentle renewal wash over your mind today. You do not have to have everything figured out before the sun comes up. You are entirely safe in this quiet room. Your family is safely resting down the hall. For these next few moments, you do not have to be the caretaker, the problem solver, or the shield for everyone else. You are simply a beloved child, invited to sit quietly in the presence of boundless grace. Allow the stillness to settle deep into your bones. Notice the rhythm of your own breathing. Feel the solid ground beneath you. You are held, you are seen, and you are deeply, unconditionally loved. As the morning light slowly grows stronger outside your window, let the light of peace grow stronger within your heart, preparing you not with a spirit of fear or exhaustion, but with a spirit of quiet strength for whatever lies ahead. As we continue to sit together in the early light of this April morning, my thoughts naturally turn toward the people sleeping in the other rooms of your home. Often, as we sit in the quiet of the early morning, our minds wander to our spouses, our children, our aging parents. We think about the invisible burdens they are carrying. We reflect on the unspoken tensions that might be lingering in the hallways of our homes from the week that has passed. And we feel the deep, aching desire for our households to be places of true harmony and peace. Sometimes, because we love them so fiercely, we try to carry the emotional weather of our entire family on our own shoulders. We want to fix every problem, smooth out every argument, and protect them from every hurt. We carry the heavy illusion that it is entirely up to us to maintain the delicate balance of our household. But today, on this Sunday morning, we are going to practice a different kind of love, a love that surrenders, a love that recognizes we cannot control the hearts of those we cherish, but we can safely entrust them to the one who created them. As you listen to the sound of my voice, Let every anxious thought begin to fade. Let every heavy burden you have been carrying from last week slowly lift off your weary shoulders. Invite the King of Peace to step gently into your morning, into your living room, and into the very foundation of your home. Lord, as I sit here in the quiet of this Sunday morning, I want to begin by simply saying thank you. Thank you for the gift of this new day. Thank you for the breath in my lungs and the gentle stillness of this early hour. While my family slept, while the house was completely dark and silent, you were the one standing guard over our home. You watched over every room, every bed, every resting mind. You were the peace in the night, calming storms we could not even see and fighting unseen battles on our behalf while we were entirely unaware. It is so easy, Father, to wake up and immediately feel the weight of what needs to be fixed. The arguments from yesterday that might still hang heavily in the air. The financial pressures that sit like a quiet weight on the chest. The worry about a child who seems distant, or a spouse who is carrying far too much stress from their workplace. We so often carry the broken, exhausting pieces of yesterday straight into the fresh morning of today. But right now, before the sun fully rises, before anyone else in this house asks anything of me, I choose to gently lay those heavy pieces down at your feet. I ask for a deep, washing spiritual renewal this morning. Renew my mind, Lord. Cleanse my heart of any lingering bitterness, any quick frustration, or any bone-deep exhaustion that threatens to steal my joy. Today, before my family wakes up, fill me so completely with your Holy Spirit that when they walk into the kitchen or come down the hallway, they do not just see me. They feel your profound peace radiating through our home. I do not want to greet them with the hurried anxiety of the week ahead. I want to greet them with a spirit that is beautifully grounded, anchored, and overflowing with your unmerited grace. I surrender the atmosphere of this home entirely to you. Let forgiveness flow easily between us today. Let our words be seasoned with extraordinary kindness. We release our tight grip on how we think things should be, and instead, we open our hands to receive the peace you are offering right now. As the April sun climbs higher, let its light be a reminder of your constant, unchanging love that chases away the shadows of our doubts. Lord, as the morning slowly begins to unfold, and the April dawn gradually lifts the darkness from the corners of this house, my thoughts turn specifically to the precious souls sleeping in the rooms down the hall. I bring each one of them before you now by name, before they even open their eyes to face this Sunday. You know them so much better than I ever could. You know the exact weight of the silent burdens they are carrying, the hidden fears they harbor, and the quiet dreams they hold close to their chests. I pray first for the adults in this household, for my spouse, or the family members sharing this roof who might be waking up with the heavy dread of tomorrow already sitting on their chest. Many times they carry financial pressures, workplace anxieties, and silent struggles that they rarely speak out loud because they want to remain strong for the rest of us. They wake up and immediately prepare to provide, to protect, and to endure the endless demands of the world. Father, would you gently meet them in the quiet of their waking moments, soften the harshness of their responsibilities today. Give them a profound sense of relief, knowing that they do not have to hold the world together by themselves. Whisper to them that their worth is not defined by their productivity, their titles, or their paychecks, but entirely by your unconditional love for them. Let them feel your presence as a sturdy, unbreakable anchor. And Lord, I lift up the children, the teenagers, and the young people in our family. When they wake up today, they are stepping back into a world that can be so incredibly loud, confusing, and unforgiving. They face relentless pressures in their schools, in their shifting friendships, and through the glowing screens they hold in their hands, pressures that I sometimes struggle to fully understand. Some of them are silently wrestling with their identity, their future, or a quiet loneliness they hide behind closed bedroom doors. In an era where they are constantly bombarded by the highlight reels and expectations of others, Remind them of their unique divine purpose. Father, would your favor surround them like a living, breathing shield today? Protect their tender hearts from the harsh, careless words of others and the insidious lies of the enemy. Guard their minds against the heavy anxiety of comparison. When confusion whispers to them that they are falling behind or that they are not enough, plant your unchanging truth so deeply in their spirits that it cannot possibly be uprooted. When they look in the mirror this morning, let them see a masterpiece beautifully and intentionally crafted by your hands. Let your voice be the absolute loudest one they hear today. I also gently lift up the aging members of our family, those whose bodies are naturally feeling the heavy weight of the passing years. For the grandparents and parents who might be waking up with physical aches, I ask for your profound and tender comfort. Where joints silently ache, bring soothing relief. Where energy is severely lacking, provide a supernatural stamina. Help them to age with beautiful grace, incredible dignity, and a steadfast spirit. Let them know how deeply valued and essential they are to the very fabric of our family. As a family, we desperately need your harmony to fill the spaces between us. Let there be a beautiful, unbroken thread of love and respect passing between the generations in this house. Give the older ones the profound patience to listen without immediate judgment, and give the younger ones the humility to seek the wisdom that only comes from a life walked in faith. I surrender every relationship under this roof to you. Where there has been distance, build a sturdy bridge of grace. Where there has been frustration, cultivate a deep, enduring patience. Let our home become a true sanctuary today. Father, as I continue to sit in this early morning stillness, I am deeply aware of how much power our words carry within the walls of our home. So often, in the relentless rush of the week, we speak to one another without truly thinking. We allow our exhaustion to dictate our tone. We react with quick, sharp frustration instead of pausing to patiently listen. Today, I ask for a profound and lasting transformation in how my family communicates with one another. Make us a household that is fiercely quick to forgive and incredibly slow to anger. Guard our tongues from sarcasm, impatience, and the kind of careless, everyday criticism that slowly chips away at the delicate foundation of our love. When disagreements arise, as they inevitably will, give us the spiritual maturity to seek genuine understanding rather than simply trying to prove that we are right. Let the words spoken under this roof build up, heal, inspire, and encourage. And Lord, I also want to gently and honestly lift up the deeply strained or broken relationships that might be weighing heavy on our hearts this Sunday morning. For many of us, the lack of harmony is not just about daily bickering over chores or schedules. It is about a deep, painful, and quiet emotional distance. Perhaps there is a tension between siblings that has slowly grown into a cold, impenetrable silence over the years. Perhaps a child has drifted away from the family, leaving an empty seat at the table and an aching void in our hearts. Or perhaps a marriage feels more like two exhausted strangers simply living under the same roof, managing the logistics of daily life, but entirely disconnected in spirit. Those hidden wounds cut so deeply, Father. Few things in this life hurt more than an emotional distance within our own family. It is a quiet, heavy grief that we carry into every room we enter. But even in those painful, quiet places, even when the situation looks impossible to our human eyes, we choose to hold firmly onto hope today. Because the God we worship is a God of total restoration. You are uniquely and beautifully able to mend what looks completely shattered. You can breathe vibrant life back into the driest bones and the coldest relationships. Where bitterness and old wounds have built thick, defensive walls between the people I love, I ask that your mercy would begin to quietly soften those hardened hearts. Melt away the pride that keeps us from apologizing. Remove the fear that keeps us from being vulnerable. Today, give us the discerning wisdom to know exactly when to speak out with courageous, gentle love and when to simply step back, close our mouths, and trust you to do the invisible delicate work of healing that only you can do. We place these fractured relationships before you through Jesus Christ, our mediator, trusting that you see every unseen tear and hear every silent plea. As the April morning light stretches further across the floor of this room, I ask that your illuminating light would reach into the darkest, most neglected corners of our misunderstandings. Expose the lies the enemy has whispered to us about one another, the lies that tell us we are unloved, unvalued, or fundamentally incompatible. Protect our home from the spiritual forces that seek to divide and conquer our family unit. Replace our petty grievances with a profound gratitude for the sheer privilege of sharing this life together. Teach us how to love each other, not just when it is easy, but when it requires sacrifice, deep humility, and a stubborn refusal to walk away. When we look at the family members who have hurt us, give us your eyes to see their own hidden pain. Instead of demanding an apology, give us the strength to extend an olive branch. Let this April Sunday mark the beginning of a quiet miracle in our home. Let it be the day where the ice begins to thaw, where forgiveness becomes the native language of our household, and where authentic, enduring love is built back up stone by stone, word by word. May this home be a living testament to your redeeming power, a place where walls of defense come down and the beautiful, messy work of reconciliation is courageously embraced. Lord, as I continue to sit in the stillness of this April morning, I must also gently lift up to you the very practical, everyday burdens that so often quietly steal the peace from our family. I know that sometimes the lack of harmony in our home does not come from a lack of love for one another, but rather from the heavy financial pressures and the silent, gnawing anxieties about the future that weigh so heavily on our human shoulders. When the bills are due, when job security suddenly feels fragile, and when unexpected expenses arrive at our doorstep, that thick, unspoken tension so easily creeps into our daily meals and our casual hallway conversations. So this morning, right here in this quiet and sacred moment, I completely surrender our family's finances, our daily provision, and our earthly security into your powerful, loving arms. Father, you are our great provider. Your word gently reminds us that if you care so deeply for the birds of the air and the wild flowers of the field, which neither toil nor spin, how much more will you care for us, your beloved children? Today, I earnestly ask that you would lift the heavy panic and the quiet dread about money that might be taking root in the mind of my spouse, my parents, or anyone in this family who carries the heavy responsibility of providing. Please pour out your abundant blessing on the honest work of our hands. As we step into a brand new week tomorrow, I ask that you would open new doors of opportunity that no human can shut and provide for our exact needs in ways that absolutely surprise us. Grant us the deep, practical wisdom to steward well everything you have already given us, and the steadfast faith to trust your guidance even when we cannot fully see the path ahead. Please, Lord, do not let material worries fracture the spiritual peace we are carefully building today. Instead of allowing financial stress to cause arguments, frustration, or blame, help our family to draw closer together, holding hands in prayer and leaning entirely on your infinite grace. I pray for a beautiful overflow of gratitude and profound contentment in this home, trusting that you will never leave us forsaken. Beyond our financial needs, I also proactively pray for the physical resilience and health of everyone who lives under this roof. Our bodies inevitably carry the heavy, unseen toll of our daily anxieties. The stress of the workplace, the deep exhaustion of parenting, and the quiet worries of the week all physically settle into our shoulders, tighten our chests, and slowly wear down our immune systems. Even on a Sunday, a day meant for genuine rest, it can be profoundly difficult to truly slow down because our minds continue to race. So I ask, Father, that you would breathe fresh, healing life into our physical frames this morning. When my loved ones finally rise from their beds today, let them feel a distinct, revitalizing energy that only comes from your renewing touch. I pray for a strong, impenetrable hedge of protection against sudden illness, lingering ailments, and quiet physical pain. As my children step back into their busy classrooms, and as the adults return to their crowded workplaces tomorrow, please guard them from the sicknesses that so easily spread. For anyone under this roof who woke up feeling physically exhausted or emotionally depleted, I ask for your compassionate healing touch. You are the great physician. Would you surround them with your sustaining love so deeply today that they cannot possibly miss it? Grant them a physical reprieve. Give them the deep, restorative rest they have been desperately missing. Let this April Sunday be a true sanctuary for their weary bodies, just as much as it is for their spirits. Replace our internal exhaustion with your boundless energy, so that the way we treat one another today becomes a living, breathing testimony of your restoring love. As the morning light fully breaks through the windows, marking the true beginning of this Sunday, my heart turns toward the invisible battles my family will face this week. While we have spent this quiet time cultivating a beautiful, sacred peace within these walls, the world outside operates on a very different rhythm. It is a world filled with heavy demands, sudden frustrations, and sometimes difficult people who are carrying their own deep, unhealed wounds. Today, I proactively pray for the absolute protection of my family's peace as they navigate the inevitable conflicts and the unexpected, abrasive moments waiting for them in the week ahead. Father, I want to pray a powerful, impenetrable shield over the minds and thoughts of everyone I love. We live in a world that is incredibly loud. The noise does not just wait for us outside, it reaches right into our living rooms, our kitchens, and our bedrooms through the glowing screens we hold in our hands. It is so terrifyingly easy for our children, our teenagers, and even us as adults to be completely swept away by the endless stream of digital distractions, the heavy weight of social comparisons, and the confusing messages that quietly attempt to steal our joy. I ask that you would fiercely protect their minds today. When they look at the world, let them see it through the lens of your unshakable truth, rather than the shifting, anxious opinions of culture. Help them to easily recognize and reject the subtle lies that whisper they are not enough, that they are falling behind, or that their worth is somehow tied to their worldly success or outward appearance. Anchor their identities so deeply in your unconditional love that no passing trend, no harsh comment, and no worldly temptation can uproot them. Make their minds a quiet fortress of your perfect peace. I ask that you would wrap my spouse, my children, and every member of this household in an invisible, impenetrable cloak of your divine peace. When they walk into crowded offices, busy classrooms, or highly stressful environments tomorrow, let your presence go entirely before them, shifting the atmosphere before they even speak a word. If they encounter anger, unfair criticism, or sudden hostility, please give them the supernatural grace to respond with your enduring patience, rather than reacting out of their own human defense. Guard their tender hearts so that the careless, unkind words of others simply fall to the ground and do not take root in their spirits. Help them to remember exactly who they are and whose they are when they are faced with difficult personalities or confrontational situations. Grant them the profound wisdom to know when to speak up with courageous, gentle truth and when to simply remain silent and walk away. Give them the emotional resilience to not absorb the toxic stress of the people around them. Let them carry the exact same profound harmony we have anchored in our home this morning out into the busy streets. As my family prepares to step into the upcoming week, I pray that we would not just simply survive the heavy days ahead, but that we would experience a true spiritual victory. And Lord, we know that a victorious day in your kingdom looks very different from a victorious day in this loud, rushing world. Worldly victory is so often about pushing harder, exhausting ourselves, and striving endlessly for perfection or approval. But your victory is found in remaining absolutely anchored in your peace. No matter what chaos swirls around us, grant my spouse, my children, and myself the triumphant grace to end each day this week with our joy fully intact, our faith completely unshaken, and our hearts utterly free from bitterness or exhaustion. I look forward with beautiful anticipation to the end of this day, and every day this week, when my loved ones will return back to this physical home. I completely trust that the profound spiritual sanctuary we have established in prayer this morning will be waiting right here to embrace them. Let them return not utterly defeated by the world, but carrying the quiet, steady confidence of those who know they are fiercely protected and deeply loved by their Creator. We thank you in advance for your faithful guidance, and we joyfully celebrate the unseen victories you have already prepared for our household. Lord, as we slowly prepare to open our eyes and step out of this sacred morning stillness, I want to firmly and confidently seal everything we have prayed for today. We have laid our heavy burdens at your feet. We have asked for your undeniable protection over our loved ones, and we have sought your deep, abiding peace for our household. I declare right now that the enemy has no foothold in this home. Anxiety has no authority here. Exhaustion will not dictate our words, and fear will not direct our footsteps in the week ahead. We seal this time in your holy presence, trusting completely that what we have placed in your capable hands is entirely secure. As the minutes pass and the April morning light grows just a little bit brighter, I can begin to imagine the quiet sounds of your family starting to wake. Perhaps there are faint footsteps in the hall, a door gently opening, or the soft, familiar stirrings of a Sunday morning coming to life. Before you rise from this quiet place and step into the many vital roles you carry today as a parent, a spouse, a caregiver, a friend, I want you to leave everything we have just prayed about safely here at his feet. I invite you to make a conscious choice. Refuse to pick these heavy burdens back up. Do not walk out of this room carrying the weight of the upcoming week or the anxiety of tomorrow. You have left your family's unseen needs, your household harmony, and your own spiritual renewal entirely in his strong and capable hands. As your loved ones step out of their rooms today, let them be met immediately with an atmosphere of grace. When they sit down at the breakfast table, let them feel a quiet, unexplainable peace that washes over their minds. Bless the words you speak to one another today. Let your home truly be a sanctuary, a place where walls of defense come down and authentic, enduring love is built up. Before you, my dear friend, step away from this quiet moment, I want to invite you to take one final slow breath. Let the profound peace we have just invited into this space settle deep into your spirit. I want to speak a blessing over you as you prepare to wake your family or simply start your Sunday. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine brightly upon you and be incredibly gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face completely toward you and give you his perfect, unshakable peace today. When the noise of the world tries to rush in later this afternoon, or when the heavy worry about Monday tries to creep back into your mind, I want you to pause and remember this exact moment. You have already placed tomorrow into the hands of the God who holds eternity. Your family is secure. Your home is a sanctuary. You do not need to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders today because you are deeply loved and fiercely protected by your Heavenly Father. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful, quiet journey of prayer with me this morning. If this time together has brought your heart a sense of genuine relief and comfort, I warmly encourage you to type, "I surrender my week to God" in the comments below as a quiet, personal declaration of your faith. Please subscribe to our channel so we can continue to anchor our mornings in faith together, day by day. Share this video with a friend or a family member who might desperately need a quiet moment of peace today. Go forward into your Sunday with your head lifted high, walking gently in his grace. Have a beautiful, restful, and deeply protected April day. Amen.